Hello and welcome to another wonderful Attila Total War, my Viking brothers and sisters. As you can see here, I am playing as the Geats. I cannot remember the name. I am against the Bulgarians, to which name I cannot pronounce very well. So I'm going to start off the right at the back here. As you can see, I'm going to look at my enemy's army straight away. We have a lot of Germanic Spearmasters. Most of his army is Germanic Spearmasters. Behind here, as you can see, we got some Germanic archers, and down to his general, which is the Burgundian Guard. And over here, as you can see, he's also got some wonderful loyal lancers. Royal, not loyal. Over my army, as you can see, it's one of the rare occasions where I can actually house a full army that I'm quite happy with. Here, on my initial setup, I'm going to talk to you through what's planning here. I saw him, I minimized a little bit now, but I saw that he had guys over here, and I can't remember if I actually did see if he had guys in the forest or not, but I assumed he would be here hiding the majority of his army, so I wasn't 100% sure what he had. So my initial standard setup right now, I was going to come here and I was going to sort of try and feed it out a little bit. I did sort of toy with the idea of bringing my men back around. I should have had them like more here to fight them a little bit more in the open, but since I didn't know what he had, there's a lot of tree lines here and a lot of tree lines there. I didn't really want to place my men too far out of conflict. There you go, so I would sort of mass click them just so that they can rearrange themselves here, and as I started to organise them to form the conflict here a little bit. But then I thought, no, I'm a little bit way too out of position now, so if I start moving all of them in that way, it'll be far too long a time. So as you can see, I set up my archstone here. These are the standard Nordic bows. They are the cheapest bow units. I got a little bit of rank on them there, just so you can see. The goal now, I kind of pulled my archers on this, trying to get the cheapest unit possible. I could have got slingers, but the slingers were a little bit lacking in terms of range, so I couldn't really do much harassment there. So I kind of got the cheap bow units, put a bit of rank on them, and their sole purpose is really to destroy the archers here of the enemy, while I use the rest of my men to sort of kite and move around. As you can see here, I've got 4 sets of Nordic pikemen. One of the first games I've actually ever used pikemen. I never really utilised them efficiently in Attila, and I kind of just didn't see much need of them. But with like full rank, as you can see here, they do prove quite a strong defensive means where I'm going to hold the sort of line. I noticed he did have some men, as you can see here, he sort of moved around his cavalries a little bit. But I'm going to be slightly careful of that, my archers of course. So what I'm doing here is bring up some pikemen to help reinforce my Nordic warriors here. Got some guys here hidden in the tree. He would have seen me move them quite quickly, so as you can see, he's sort of beelining. I say beelining, he's moving some men up here, he's moving some cavalry through the forest as well, pretty efficiently. So the point of these guys here, and also I have this unit here hidden, and they don't really play into effect a little bit later on in the game, but I bring over my pikemen here to sort of help my Nordic warriors, and if need be, help my cavalry, pardon me, in the little conflict, which is obviously going to ensue relatively soon. I do have 2 more cavalry units where I placed them in the trees more or less at the beginning. I kind of put them just here and I made them filter through here a little bit. So this is in case he was setting them up here on the straight bit of line, so I got some men here in the trees so I can do a bit of an ambush attack if and when I need to be, but obviously that didn't really come out to fruition. So noticing he's got cavalry swarming at me here, cavalry swarming at me there, those 3 units will completely destroy, 4 units now will completely destroy my Viking raided cavalry. This is the strongest units I believe the Nords can hold in terms of cavalry. But as you can see, because of that, I'm now bringing up my men here quite a bit. I'm going to pull back these guys here because I don't want them to engage in combat by themselves, because they will get destroyed relatively quickly. So I'm bringing up my cavalry here. I'm bringing up my general, just purely because it's going to be the extra bit of morale in terms of the fight, because I am slightly outnumbered cavalry here. And as you can see, I'm moving my pikemen out here ever so slightly forward a little bit. Over here, it's kind of standstill for a little bit, so I won't be discussing too much about what's happening here. And this unit here, like I said, it kind of stays quiet for a little bit. Looking back at now, I could have maybe pulled them up a little bit to try and hit from behind if I was quick enough. But with that sort of cavalry, if I bring that out, he may disperse a couple of sets of cavalry, and the cavalry charging to sword melee infantry doesn't really prove too well. Here, I kind of need to go, alright, you're at me, let's go, sort of thing. Kind of didn't get my javelins off, that was a bit of a bummer. Kind of did tear through the middle there of my guys. Now my guys turn around to regroup, they do get hit in behind from the other Royal Lancer set. Here it's quite nice though, because I managed to get my cavalry up along the side to hit into the side of their cavalry. My other cavalry I'm starting to bring around now. Realising that I am nowhere near as fast as their Royal Lancers, I'm going to turn around here and try and engage in combat. Kind of got a few of my javelins off there, kind of a bit of a bummer that I didn't utilise them as I wanted to. Here, as you can see, I'm about to hit into the back of the Royal Lancers here, so that would have been nice. A few of my javelins do go off and get rid of that few units here. They do sort of pull back here, as you can see, but I sort of just like, nah mate, hold them off a little bit. Bringing up my pikemen here quite rapidly now, because I wanted them to help in the engagement. of the battle, and as you can see here, it's sort of a little bit sporadic in terms of where actually men placement are. Sending back for his men for a second charge. This is good, pulling them out and bringing them in because they're shock cavalry, I believe, at the end of the day. Yeah, they are shock cavalry. Yeah, so their efficiency is kind of based more on the initial smack rather than prolonged terms of melee. Starting to route this unit here, and also see one of my units start to route as well because I'm being hit by the second charge. My pikemen do manage to kind of get into the battle, a bit slow when they actually do set up the pike to start moving into the combat a bit more steadily, but as you can see here, I kind of put my men here slightly a bit more. Royal Lancers here, which is broken, which is wonderful, only one man left, and he just got completely smacked in the face. Move with my cavalry now just to keep holding down and trying to keep pushing this. As you can see here, I got some more my pikemen, keep running in, trying to catch out their lancers and kill as many as I can while they sort of are pulling back. Don't manage to get all of the units here. As you can see, some lancers here do manage to break away, and I kind of got the bulk of my cavalry back. The ones that did wave and run away, they came back. Only 17 men in the units. They're not as efficient as I would like them to be. Pikemen now is just doing a slow move up, killing off that like little. Oh, we got a freeze. Oh, yeah, we got a freeze. Why is my frames just dropped down to nothing and back up to 40? Fair enough. Oh, there we go, back up to more. Right. So you can see now with the javelins as well, it's kind of useful. We're going to picking off a little bit now. I kind of didn't utilise, I think, the range of my cavalry as much as I could have done. I think I could have carried on putting pressure upon these guys here, but as you can see, they're pulling back. So I was like, I'm not going to run and knacker my guys out. I'm going to bring them back slightly and just try and get some form of line up. As you can see here, they started to... Well, okay, now they were moving the guys back around, but also I got my pikes and all here up in first, and also I've got a little bit more quicker means of re-engagement than they do of their men, since their men are slightly back. So with that, I could have done a little bit more. I kind of put these guys in strings like, haha, they're hidden all sneaky, but in all fairness, anyone with a brain would know that I have pikemen here, so anyway, and also a bit of cavalry. So all we can see really is his bit of unit here. He doesn't know how I'm positioning these guys here, so I guess kind of smart that he moved his men back out here. Come back here though, I'm not too sure why he decided to move up all of his men. His men probably do have quite a relatively good missile weapon. I'm going to say they probably have quite a high blockage of missile damage, so my archers aren't really going to be heavily utilised here as well as I think they could have been. Kind of smart play, which he does in a second actually. This battle I did yesterday, so trying to get it all flowing a little bit nicer now. So I didn't know if they're going to move up that close. I'm not really too sure what's happening here, so I thought, okay, I'm going to bring my pikes forward a little bit, bring my archers back a little bit, just in case they do decide to keep the slow push up. Looking back on it though, I probably could have held them there for a couple of more volleys, but I was a bit like, indecisive about it. As you can see here, I'm starting to bring my Nordic warriors along a bit, so I just get a bit more right flank advantage. I kind of got my pikemen here. I kind of think there's a lot of faith for them to hold into the line. If they did a gut charge, I probably would have ended up breaking, but at the same time, if they did that, I would have reacted and moved all my men across and just completely surrounded them there. So as you can see, he's moving up, I believe, one set of men. I got a few. Yeah, he's bringing up these guys here to sort of block a few lot of damage. And his range actually on his Germanic archers are really good. 175, but my guys are only 150, and they only bridged about here. Ledge 75 will give them a little extra bit, and also they're going to hit my pikes. So I bring my pikes back a little bit. Nah, mate, they're really going to get into that. I did target fire here. I'm not really too sure if that was the wise or not, because it's going to absorb most of the missile damage. It's going to waste a lot of my arrows to sort of smack it out of them. So bring up these guys here, quite good playing with their shields and all as well. They're going to deflect quite a lot of arrows. So they pull back now. Pulling back is probably the most dangerous thing they can do. Now they don't have their shield up. As you can see, I do manage to kill quite a few. So that was quite a nice bit of harassment damage there. Hit them as they fall back. But now as you can see, I'm starting to move my guys here through the trees. Also here to half spot what they're doing here. I'm not too sure actually where their cavalry was. I don't know if they were in these white trees here or down in the pine trees here. It's one of those things I don't know if I completely lost track of, hence why my men are more facing that way than that way. So with them being cavalry and the Nordic pikemen, if they come up there, I can pull them back and along here a little bit, so kind of hang and hold straight. And if I needed to, I can sacrifice this unit just to hold them back a little bit more, but still keeping quite close now to the tree line. I got these guys here, they haven't spotted anyone yet. They're starting to pull back. One thing I didn't want to really happen to engagement if they get their archers in dense woodland, an exchange of volley fire would be pointless to a lot of their trees, would just give them cover. That's something I need to be careful of. As you can see, I just keep spreading out my men. I think in terms of map control, I kind of got a nice map control, although he's got very strong melee units. I think overall we're going to be careful, because in the big cluster he's still very damaging in terms of what he's got. So I try to get a bit more spread out, because if they got most of the defense at the front, if I can get some men around, all the better. Looking about it there, as you can see, I spotted this unit here now, so I can start utilising this a little bit more. Which I don't think I did. I don't know why I'm bringing them in here. So I'm bringing them more facing to the left still, and not 100% knowing that they are here. I think around this point, there we go, I started to notice that there. I was like, oh, okay, there they are. Charge. Without their charge bonus, they're going to do very little damage to me. Whoa, big blow of arrows coming from things. But like I did just say, we've got a lot of tree lines here, so I'm not 100% worried about here. And on this bit here, I was like, okay, I got a few men here. I can do as much damage as I can here. This guy's starting to waver pretty quickly. Not surprised he lost 10 men more or less straight away. As you can see to the tree just beside me, that a lot of arrows have planted into here, so I have a little bit of cover from that, I guess. There you go, that unit is completely routed and broken. This unit's completely broken as well. Then we've got one set of cavalry left, so it's like, okay, I'm going to bring up these guys here. I think they're going to hit into there more than anything. Bad thing about pikes, so they don't really engage all that quickly. They sort of get to there and like, okay, drop pikes and I'll slow walk. But I was quite lucky the fact that my opponent in this fight didn't fully register. You know, his men here might have been in a bit of trouble. So, as you can see, I just got my cavalry and I thought, you know what, you're being a nuisance. I'm going to smack straight into the archers. Also, you've got to try and get out of the woodland first and try and get a pretty decent charge off on them. So, managed to do that relatively alright. And as you can see now, I'm starting to push my archers up a little bit more now to start the extra harassment damage myself. Again, I think I'm wasting a bit too much ammo looking back at it now, hitting into these Ceremonials. You can see they've got their brace on, so although they're a bit easier to hit with missile damage, they're kind of a little bit more defensed up, and you can see quite a few arrows knocking into their shields as it is. So I do believe I focus fire in a minute and trying to hit some of the archers out, or maybe even the general. So as you can see, my cavalry doing quite nice work off the archers hitting from behind. My pikemen here are kind of fine just marching and killing those. Oh, I forgot they bring down some dramatic spear masters here. So this is something that a little bit of conflict. I'll say my pikemen may struggle here a little bit, because as you can see a thin line being hit while a lot of them are just kind of being excess and wasted. Not too sure what they do if they cavalry. Okay, I remember them sort of hitting into my side, but I don't know if they did much. But by the looks of it, they just turned around and straight into the back of my cavalry. About this point, as you can see, I already took out two. Well, I broke him. He may, but he's routing. He's not completely broken. So this unit may come back from this point in time. But as you can see, he's got his spear master now, so I've got to be kind of careful here. I'm not really too sure how this plays out, but my guys are starting to waver. He's bringing back his men here. I have force pushed up my guys quite a bit. Starting to push up my pikemen here quite heavily. Bringing in my Nordic warriors here from the right hand flank, because all this is disrupted here. So I can get in there nicely. That'd be very useful for me. As you can see, yeah, like I said, this unit came back quite easily. But I'm sending in these guys here right in the front. A few spears managed to get thrown off. Whoa, that actually did quite a bit. That looked kind of groovy. Load of spears and these guys shield. Like, okay, again, out of it. This one guy holds back, like, I'll recover the retreat. Brave when you're being charged by a bunch of Vikings. Over here, as you can see, even more spears and javelins coming in, even coming into hitting into my all their units here. So I'm just putting them just break into here. They've got 150% mass entry, I think it is, when you're in defense mode like that. But due to my numbers, I'm hopefully just going to overwhelm them. I've got my archers now to target fire the general thing. Okay, if I can hit him down, it should be quite nice. Managed to break the spear master unit here, as you can see. So in a minute, I start pushing up with my my spearmen here again. I kind of got another unit over here. There you go. They're the guys that were hidden in the trees a short while back. My general, I think I can bring my general up a little bit. As you can see, the sphere of influence isn't really doing a lot right now, so my guys starting to waver here. I put on fire eyes just because their general's going to be slightly armoured up, but he didn't really have much armor protection since there's no shields, just a giant two-handed axe to sort of come back and slice here against this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here, so not too much of a big cluster that we're looking at. So my guys start to break here a little bit, and my guys aren't doing the best here in terms of concept, but I think in terms of my placement right now, I have sort of mastered in terms of my placement here. I'm bringing up the pikemen, as you can see here, just to hit into the rear of the Germanic spear masters here to help this unit here in the fight. This here, I think there's a bit too much of a cluster. Like my pikemen here would have been fine fighting that off. With these two extra Nordic warriors, I could have maybe channeled them and trying to hit into the archer side. This unit here is starting to rout a little bit. I bring my general in. I don't know if I did manage to drop a rally. I was quite poor with general abilities, but in this game I thought I was pretty quick. Like, as soon as they sort of came back, I kind of got them quite in the engagement pretty quickly again straight away. So I think I was quite efficient at knocking down every time a guy came back. I sent him in again straight away. As you can see, I also sent in my general, unlike the other things. But I was trying to make my general not take much damage. But in this, I'm a Viking, go fucking nuts, you know, get right into the battle. So as you can see here, some strong conflict happening. I'm not actually too sure in terms of units who is better here. I think my units are purely because of the extra additional rank. There you go, battle returns in our favour. As you can see here, I've kind of got my pikemen here, so the archers don't really have much of a chance to run away. I've lost this unit here, which is a bit of a bummer. So sometimes the only place these guys got to go now is behind the hit into the pike unit. But as you can see, they've held the line relatively right now. Some guys here dropped the pikes, got the sword. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Enemy general is fallen.
Enemy general has fallen. Look at that arrow about to go straight into that guy's head. But Yeah, okay, that ended a little bit more abruptly than I was actually anticipating there, but as you can see, I completely surrounded managed this. It's been a while since I've actually got a victory in Attila, so I'm kind of chuffed, in all fairness. But, yeah, as quick as that was, I hope you enjoyed it. I have been Carpus, beard on.